Hey, what's up, my lovely new subscribers? This is what I do on Monday. I'll be bringing some fresh Gears of War content throughout the week, so here we go. And if you haven't checked out episode 1, I'll put an annotation up on the screen now. So here we go, let's get stuck in. Yo, what's up guys, it's your main man Dark Orbit here. It's Monday, so here comes my episode 2 of my zombie survival guide. So this week's is going to be weapons and techniques. I'm not going to go into firearms. I'm going to do that in another episode because I need to look into it a bit more, and I'm not from America, so I need to look into what weapons, like guns and things like that. But anyway, let's get into this. So this is going to be the rules, the basic rules, general rules. Okay, so number 1, until this zombie apocalypse happen, and it will happen, you want to be obeying the law. Like, you can't have a whole gun shed in your back garden if you're in the UK without any licenses and claim it because it's a zombie apocalypse is going to come. You're going to get put in a white jacket, let's be real. Yeah, and if you ever come across the police or something in a zombie apocalypse, I know you want to be all badass and like awesome and being like, yeah, fuck you, fuck the police, but they're the ones who are going to have the guns, so in the UK anyway, so you want to be on their side. They don't want to be questioning you, they want to think of you as a model citizen. Even if you're not, you want to be acting cool. Okay, so and that was number 1. Okay, so number 2 is, like, you've got to be training constantly. Some of these weapons, they take a lot of skill. Like, I don't know how to use a bow and arrow. I mean, if you do, well done. That's probably one of the best weapons out there for a zombie. Like, but seriously, that shit takes skill. Okay, so you got to be training constantly. I'm not the fittest guy, but the fitter you are, the more likely you're going to survive one of these zombies attacks, because you can run away. If shit hits the fan, you can peg it. Okay, so that's basically number 3. You've got to always take care of your tools, whether it's a machete, a shotgun, anything like that. You've got to take care of your things. Like, the most simple weapons have got to be kept sharp and usable, because otherwise they just won't do the job, you know what I mean? Number 4, you've seen them, display items. Beware. You don't want to go think, oh yeah, I've just seen a nice samurai looking sword, and go into a shop and find it's made out of some piece of shit metal. You want to get the real thing, or just don't get it at all. Like, you don't want some flimsy bit of metal helping you out. You don't want, like, a crazy cool looking sword if it doesn't do anything, you know what I mean? So let's get into the weapons that I recommend. So, to be honest, this is your last resort. Close combat. I mean, I'm not a ninja, but come on, if you're a ninja, that's going to help a lot in these kind of situations, because if a zombie grabs you, you're going to be able to get them off you and gain the advantage, because zombies are not the smartest people in the world. So, yeah, learning a martial art is very good. Anything, it would get you fitter, it will get you more confident, if it ever arose. Okay, so that is last resort. You want to not have any weapons and go fucking ninja style. But bludgeons, so blunt weapons. I think these are probably going to be the most common, because blunt weapons, you've got to consider. You got them lying around your house: a hockey stick, a cricket bat, a hammer, sledgehammers, anything like that. That you've got to consider that it's got to be a one-hit blow to the head of a zombie to take it out. So yeah, I'd recommend hammers, sledgehammers. My favourite blunt weapon, actually, that I can think of would be a crowbar. To be honest, a crowbar can be handy in several ways if you need to break into somewhere to get out of situations. But if you hit a zombie round the head with a crowbar, they're going down. And you've got to remember that edge weapons and blunt weapons, things like that, they don't make noises like guns. That's why they have the upper hand. So edge weapons, so you've got hatchets, swords, machetes, things like that. Any kind of sharp weapon that's going to break the skull. I'm a chef, and I probably wouldn't use a kitchen knife. It would probably be quite hard work to cut into a skull, as I butcher up chickens and things like that. That was quite hard bone. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend using kitchen knives or anything like that, because you've got to penetrate the skull, so it'd be definitely hatchets or machetes or things like that. And make sure you keep them sharp. As I've said, you've got to keep them sharp and working, because otherwise they are just not gonna do anything. Then we go on to miscellaneous hand weapons. This basically covers like spears, pikes, tridents, sorry, things like that, to skewer, like stabby, like on long sticks. I mean, they're gonna be alright, but come on guys, would you rather have a machete or a crowbar compared to a pointy stick? So let's get on to, I'm going to skip weapons. Explosives. You might think that throwing a hand grenade into a big bunch of zombies does the job, but if you've ever played zombies, they still come at you on Call of Duty. They're going to come at you still, because the shrapnel has got to pierce the brain, and it will kill a human very easily because it pierces vital organs and things like that. But yeah, a zombie ain't gonna do shit unless it's a big old explosion. And if you can get hold of some nice big explosives, yeah, do it. But I wouldn't recommend using hand grenades and things like that, because they're not really gonna help. And then man's best friend, earliest thing, fire. Fire can be very handy. It's not going to deter a zombie. They're not scared of fire. They don't know what it is. They're not going to feel it. They're going to keep coming at you if you set them on fire. But eventually they will die from it, because they'll burn up and into a little boiling heat of shit. And fire is one of the only things that will just completely destroy a zombie. And you've got very different ways of killing zombies with fire, such as Molotov cocktails. That's basically a glass bottle filled up with some petrol with a bit of cloth in it, set fire to the cloth, chuck it. It's gonna slow them down a bit if you start setting them on fire, but it's definitely a last ditch. Then you've got dousing. That is like going to be chucking a bucket of petrol over them, then chucking the lighter at them. A bit more risky, because you could get it on yourself. Preferably you would want to be using a blowtorch, like a kitchen blowtorch or something like that, rather than a lighter, so you can put it down on the floor and get away from it pretty quick. And flamethrowers. If you can get hold of a cool flamethrower, you're a lucky man. Flamethrowers, I know they would destroy zombies on the comeback. If you're on the comeback, if you're on the winning side, get a flamethrower on the go, because that will eventually destroy the virus or whatever it is that is infecting the bodies, because fire is I remember doing this in science, it's an irreversible chemical reaction. So basically, yeah, that will kill off viruses. Acid, this is a bit different. Acid is going to have a very similar effect to melting fire, but it's not going to kill off the virus. It's just going to dissolve natural body substance. It's a bit grim, isn't it, really? Poison will have no effect on zombies, because poison affects immune systems, muscles, things like that. It's not going to be very helpful. If you can knock up some poison, don't bother. You got biological warfare. I'm not an expert on biological warfare, radiation and things like that. They could affect the brain in long term. Electrocuting zombies. As you see in films, they will chuck the electric cable into the water. To be honest, zombies have the same muscle system as humans, so it will slow them down or paralyse them for quite a considerable time span. So that could be quite handy if you get into the situation. So yeah, they're the main kind of groups of weapons, guys, that I would recommend to use. My top weapons that I would use would probably be the crowbar, and I don't know, it would be definitely a crowbar and a machete for chopping and hacking, maybe an axe to break into doors as well. Because you don't want to be carrying too much stuff. Okay, So this next episode that I'm going to do after this has now come to an end, guys. Next episode I'm going to do on armour and other types of weapons, like range weapons. Okay, so this has been Dark Orbit, helping you survive the apocalypse. Peace out.